5-year Treasury note futures rally hard in the early going and, in fact, lead all tenors in outperformance. A lot of people are saying that perhaps the ECB meeting raising GDP and inflation forecasts and winding down PEP and adding to long-term asset purchases had something to do with it, and also the Bank of England's surprise move to raise rates. All that to say, Eurozone yields across the board were actually higher, whereas US we're seeing the fives lower. Data out of Europe, no worse than feared. Eurozone manufacturing PMI declined less as expected, and similarly with the December German manufacturing PMI, it was actually stronger than expected. Get into the US session, the futures continue to test the upside with yields pushing lower. Some are saying that perhaps a surprise hawkish take of yesterday's Fed meeting, where perhaps pricing in 3 hikes as opposed to 2 has something to do with it. It seems very counterintuitive. Some are saying it's just plain old positioning. In the US, economic data was really good. Initial claims and continuing claims both pretty good. On a 4-week average, those numbers were now at the lowest level we've seen since March 2020. Building home starts was very strong, as were home building permits. That said, we saw the dollar shifting itself lower, equities struggling, not really adding a whole lot of logic to why yields are down here today. But again, maybe positioning has something to do with it. Looking at options, I look at CME Group CVOL and zeroing in on March on a 1-month basis, trading at the 20th percentile, 3-month basis to 70th percentile. As of yesterday's close, March at the money vols were lower. Both up variance and down variance were lower, although the put variance is down more than the call, inferring that skew is higher, which it was. Largest volume seen, 121 quarter call, followed by the 122 quarter call. On the put side, the 120 quarter, followed by the 121 quarter. Lastly, CME Group micro mini yield-based futures continue to grow in open interest and in volume, and the fives is no exception, continue to grow against them and all the other tenors.